hate this job. I hate this job.
I don't even have to come into the office. I can do this job from home.
I need this place like I need a shotgun blast to the face.
Fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you, I'm out.
Who's coming with me?
Hey everybody, welcome back to My Stupid Job podcast. I'm Aaron Jarbo. My guest today is Everett Byram. Everett, thanks for joining me.
Hello, Aaron. Thank you so much for having me. I love talking about stupid jobs. I've had plenty.
Oh, cool. We're going to get into that. For those of you who don't know, Everett is a very funny stand-up comedian. He's also a genius on Twitter. It's an app. If you guys are into apps, this is a download that one and then follow Everett. It's so funny because I'm mostly an Instagram person, but Instagram is just a lot of it in the meme world is just pictures of other people's tweets.
Oh yeah, it's great.
And I suck at Twitter.
No.
And if I tweet a tweet and it'll get like 0 likes, 0 retweets.
But if you screenshot it and put it on your Instagram,
75,000 likes.
Right, and they call it a meme. I just do. I'll just if I haven't posted anything in a while, I'll just screenshot a tweet, an old one even, and just put it on there and. It's just like double dipping into the system, but it's totally like
it is.
It seems legit. Like I get likes for it.
People love you on the platform. You're also really funny on Facebook. Just the things that you do when you mess with like other businesses.
Oh, the brands. Yeah.
Yeah. You go after a lot of restaurants, which I think is fun. Did you ever work in the restaurant industry?
Oh yeah, that's like my entire career.
Your entire career is restaurants.
Because those you can be high at all the time. You know.
I was looking through some of them last night because I wanted to talk about them. But you would reach out to Chili's and be like, "Hey, my potatoes were cold" or something like that, I don't know what you said. And then
I think I just told them my potatoes are cold, and they're like, "Oh, we're sorry about that." And I was like, something. I forgot what my punchline was.
They were at home, the ones that I just took out of the fridge or something like that. I was just letting you know. But whoever's running their corporate social media engages with you because they have to take their complaints very seriously, and you've learned that, and you've made a really good career out of exploiting those humans.
Thank you. Honestly, I do it on the chats because you used to be able to do it on brands' walls,
like the feed.
Yeah, and you can't really do that anymore. I feel kind of partly responsible for that. I'm blocked by Arby's, blocked by Little Caesars. The funny thing about Chili's, though, if you go back in our message history, you can see it linear. That all the different times I messed with them. Yeah, and they can see that too. They can see the message history. And again, I have a new son or something that choked on a potato or whatever. I'm telling them at the time, and they can see that I've messed with them before, and they still just go for it.
Maybe it's a different person, or maybe they don't.
It's the same account though. They should be able to see that.
Yeah, maybe they delete the messages after they've been.
So they shouldn't.
They shouldn't.
Yeah, they're dumb.
So before you started doing all the silliness online and the stand-up comedy, what was your first job ever?
First job was at a Chinese restaurant. Washing dishes. It was called Madam Wu's. It was owned by a man named Minder, who was neither a madam nor a woo. Okay. So I learned a lot about MSG during that time.
I still don't know what it is. I know that every option on a Chinese menu typically has no MSG option, and I'm like, if it's bad, then why don't you just don't put it in any of them?
I put so much in stuff because I got to cook a little bit. I made fried rice. And I would just eat the pinches of the MSG by itself. It's it tastes really good.
What?
It's like salt, kind of.
Okay, so
it tastes a little bit more chemically.
Okay,
and good.
And what is its sole purpose? MSG.
I don't know. Something to say umami.
Okay, so it's for flavor.
It's for flavor. Yeah.
Okay, it has no. Okay, I don't know why I thought it was
It's just a white. It looks like drugs.
Okay,
it might be drugs.
Have you ever snorted any? Because let's try it.
Okay, yeah, if we can put our hands on some, I think we should.
What state was this? Is this out here?
Oh, no, this is back in Arkansas. That's where I grew up, yeah.
Arkansas. Cool.
Great place for Chinese food.
When did you move out west?
I've been here for almost 5 years.
Okay.
I made a pit stop in Phoenix for about a year and a half.
Do any stand-up out there?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah, but I went out here to really... This is where you go to get good,
Hammer down.
Yeah.
I've heard the opposite. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you started in L.A. You're supposed to start in some other small market and suck there a bunch and get good, and then move to L.A." But I'm like, you still got to start over.
Yeah,
so, this is where I already live, and so I do it here, and I'm not gonna move to Austin so I can get better before I move back to LA.
Right,
I'm already here.
There's just so much competition and stuff. You got to be good here, or else you drown.
I think it makes you be better, and also there's so many mics, but there's also there's so many people doing it that I feel like it's harder to get on a stage, and so when you you can't go up there and try garbage. It's got to be pretty good.
Right. That's why there's open mics.
Or those comedy
plenty
gyms.
every night. So you got to practice your shit on other unsuspecting comedians that aren't going to laugh at it. You got to judge from like facial expressions, like what's good, because another comedian's probably not going to laugh at your jokes, but if they go, and like if you see a smile, like, okay, I did good.
Yeah.
Whereas a real audience member would be like, cracking up.
Open mics aren't representative of your talent.
No, they're not fun. I kind of quit doing those. I do it every once in a while when I have a new bit I want to work out if I have a show, but I used to go to them like religiously.
Same.
And used to run them, and I'm just kind of over that whole scene.
Same. What are you doing right now? For you're not and this is not a dig because I'm not either not paying your bills with comedy, but that is the goal. So so along the way we have these shitty pay the bill jobs. What are you doing right now for rent money?
I'm bartending at a private club right now. So at least people like out in the wild won't see me and shame me for being a bartender, you know. But I do see the same people every single day. They come in. Like, that's their life. They come in and they just have, like, 3 drinks over a couple hours, and it's like old white people, you know, old white people shit that have money.
Yeah.
So you just go hang out.
What's a good old white person drink? Is like a gin martini?
Gin martini. Lots of them are just vodka rocks.
Vodka rocks?
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
I'll drink that.
Not even good vodka either. Just
at home. Like, that's not I wouldn't drink that in public, but if I'm at home and
if you're just trying to drink, yeah.
Yeah, I like a good cold vodka or a good cold gin without any. I don't need the crap. I will if I'm out in public.
Right. I'll do like a vodka soda or something.
Same.
But yeah, these people are just drinking straight liquor on the rocks. You know.
You don't see people ordering shots of gin too much at the bar.
Right. Yeah. It's definitely chill. You don't want warm gin. That's not a good.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing.
Did you have to go to did you do any training to be a bartender or?
That's just like I said, I've been working in restaurants and stuff my whole life, so you just kind of. Everyone asks if there's school, but I've never heard of someone that goes to actual bartending school.
I know that there is a bartending school.
Yeah, I know it's a thing.
But I don't. Of all the bartenders that I know in the city, which is a lot, none of them have that certification or whatever. I think
you take you can do stuff online, like certain serve safe classes and stuff.
Yeah, you have to have those I think to be a server or whatever. I've never worked in a restaurant.
It's basically the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think like Vegas is a big. Those are like the people who like the showmanship bartenders.
Yeah,
the
flair
guys,
tossing the bottles up. I can do a little bit of that.
I think those guys probably did some schooling. And that's great. I mean, are they making that much more money in tips? Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. It looks cool.
But it does look cool. And it's like, I did order a gin soda. Did I order you juggling for 5 minutes? Like, all you're doing with that is extending the amount of time that it takes me to put that in my body.
But you're probably going to give a couple extra bucks to someone who's juggling.
Right.
Come on.
But
you don't see that every day.
I mean, you're right. But also, I could see somebody being like, come on. Just give me put the drink here. I need it.
Right,
Daddy needs the sauce.
Yeah. And I like doing restaurant jobs though, because it's just easy and you can get out of you can switch shifts with people or whatever, so you can do comedy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that makes it pretty easy. Also, you can get high at restaurant jobs with relative ease.
I think it's encouraged if you show up sober to a restaurant job.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
How are you going to make it through this shift, man?
See, I you can always just get high before work, but you can't maintain the high. So that's why I'm so happy about vape pens now.
Oh yeah.
Just have one, just go.
I see dudes that'll do it into their shirt like this.
Yeah.
They'll take
that's what I did it at the Bernie Sanders rally under my shirt.
Nice.
You know?
Walk me through your least favorite type of customer as a bartender. Like, what's is like a gaggle of bachelorette parties ordering lemon drops. What's the customer that walks in that you're like, oh, this guy's gonna suck or this girl's gonna suck?
Well, for me now, it's private club, so it's the same people, members of this place every day. So I would just have to say specific people right now, but all together.
What are their names and social security numbers? Say them out loud right now.
I think I should. It's all C-listers and stuff like that.
You get some actual
some, and those are the good people actually.
Okay.
But there's probably right now my least favorite is just old people that just want what they want and like they're gonna make you give it to them, like, and they don't want to wait for anyone else. Like they don't understand the concept of like waiting in lines or queues. Like they want what they want right then, and
and they don't want you juggling. If you start juggling, they're like, "Hey kid,
why
put the limes down.
Put the fucking lines down. Quit juggling in front of me.
Pour me a shot of cold vodka, sir."
Yeah, so I like to just say hi while I do that.
But then, in the same vein, though, you probably have some good regulars that take pretty good care of you. Like those are the ones.
Yeah, we don't. There's no money exchange at this one, so there is tips, but it's gratuity included. So
Okay.
it's based on sales, really.
Oh, so does that suck? Like if
Yeah.
you okay.
But it makes you like kind of complacent, not really care about giving better service, you know. So it's whatever. I'm high the whole time, so it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Like
Does your direct report know that you're?
Oh no, but
okay. So you're a high functioning high.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Stone functioning. But we got to do that whenever you go to the interview for a job. You got to show up stoned. So that way you can show up stoned every day. You set the precedent. They won't know. It's like they just think that's what I look like.
That's like, did you see TJ Miller do that bit on Conan several years back where his driver's license picture is like a really weird face he's making? And he's like, I figured the only way that I could get that picture on my driver's license is if I showed up to the DMV already with that face. So he's like in line for like 2 hours, like making this silly face just so that when they go to take his picture,
That's amazing.
that's like, hey, this is what I look like, man. And that's a really good bit. So interviewing tactics, you interview high, you show up on the first day high, and they're like, that's just the way this
Same
guy
principle,
is, man.
yeah.
What a chill dude. Everett Byram, chill AF. Good to have around.
He keeps bringing up pizza in this interview. It's not a pizza place. Weird.
Did I say pizza?
I'm hungry for pizza right now, actually.
You know, one of my favorite things that you ever did, we've been social media buddies for about 3 or 4 years now, and it was a couple years ago when Papa John was going to speak about pizza. He
As he does.
he got outed for saying the N-word on a conference call at work, and and that very same day, you called and ordered a pizza from Papa John's, and you set your camera up to like get a shot of the door. And as soon as the delivery guy dropped it off, you're like, "Hey, how about that guy saying the N-word, huh?" And he just didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
He didn't know what to do.
No.
It also looked as though English wasn't maybe his first language.
He was just trying to be like
And
copacetic
he was
with
just-
whatever
he
I
goes,
was saying.
Oh yeah, and then just walked off.
I was like, all right, cool, bye.
What did you think was gonna happen? Like what?
I had no idea. Like that was probably the best case scenario. I didn't really want to bring up a discourse about it.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to see what their reaction was.
I think
maybe
it
was just a guy working.
I think it was funny because of how quick it was. Like if it would have been a long, drawn out conversation, it wouldn't have made a good video.
Yeah, it was very casual.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, hear about Papa John saying the N-word? Cool,
And
bye.
then shut the door. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just so quick, but it was like, I love that that's the way that your brain works. Like the guy says the N-word on a conference call and you go, I'm going to order a pizza from them right now.
Yeah. I mean, I was hungry for a pizza anyway,
And,
but
so like I got a thing I can do with this, and that is how you have to be on these platforms. You have to have like the funniest joke, the quickest, and whoever gets to it first. Usually whoever gets to it like second or third. It's just like you have to be best.
you just got to hit it in the right place.
Yeah,
you know?
I've missed several times and I've gotten it several times. I remember like the whole internet. This is maybe like 5 years. Whenever The Revenant came out and Leo won his first Oscar.
Like, the one where he like fucks a bear or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's the whole
Something
plot
like
of the
that,
movie.
yeah.
I didn't watch it, but I do know he has a little half bear, half Leo babies running around.
They're
right
pretty
now.
cute.
Yeah. And the whole internet was like really, really, really rallying for that guy to win an Oscar for some reason. And when he did, it was like,
I watched the movie. It wasn't that great. It was fine.
well, I mean, we can certainly get into this. I think Leonardo is a terrific actor.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the movie he should have won his first Oscar for?
Right.
No. He's like, The Wolf of Wall Street is a 3.5 hour long movie where he talks the entire time and he's great in it. And then you got The Revenant. He doesn't say a word. He's like just riding around on a horse and going to sleep inside of it's a dead horse actually. It takes warmth. And anyways,
People love horses. I think that's what.
yeah, and so
yeah.
to live inside of one would be most people's dreams. And so Leo got to do that on screen, and they're like, give this guy a statue. I personally feel like he should have had his Oscar much sooner. But when he did get it, the whole internet went insane, and it was like we were all sitting there with our memes ready to go, and like if it got called, we all like pressed the button, and it was some of like my highest engaged with content was because everybody did it at the same time, and that doesn't even fit the theme of my page, but it was just like I know this is gonna go off.
Yeah. You kind of got to take those chances when you get them.
It's I mean, it's what they used to call it with YouTube, or I guess they could call it with anything, commercials, whatever, like tentpole programming. Like, something is going to come up, like a holiday or an event, and so you have content ready to go for that event.
yeah.
Like Coachella's coming, and I think is this supposed to get canceled because of the coronavirus? Did you hear anything about that?
I hope so.
Oh yeah, I hope
Because
so.
I'm not going anywhere.
Well, I actually really I've never been to Coachella, and I really
haven't
love.
either. I'd love to, though.
I love the Coachella weekends in Los Angeles because
there's no traffic.
everybody leaves, and so we got the roads to ourselves, and traffic is great. I'm like, where have I never been before in LA, and I would like to get there in 5 minutes. I'm gonna go today. I'm gonna use.
When
this
there's no
opportunity.
traffic, you can get surprisingly quickly around this city. It's crazy.
I love it. And then you got 2 weekends in a row, and then the third weekend is like Stagecoach. I don't know if it's the like country Coachella, but I don't know if they do 2 weekends. But either way, it's like, it's glorious.
Oh yeah. It's not a hipster in sight.
Yeah.
Except for me.
Yeah.
I'm the only one.
The only one. And all right, so we're bartending. Not a lot of bad customers. Your boss. You got a good boss situation. Coworkers. Anybody that's driving you crazy.
I have two like a GM and then the ones who directly over me, and they're both new and they're both from Eastern Europe. So pretty much everyone.
What country?
Eastern Europe. I don't know. One's like Russian and one's Hungarian.
Okay.
But so basically, anyone who can tell me what to do sounds like Borat.
Okay.
So that's equally frustrating and hilarious. But you're like, do this. Like, wash the plates.
Is it really hard not to emulate them? Like,
whenever they talk to me, I have to consciously put an effort into not talking like them back.
Yeah, I have a British friend, and it's like whenever she says stuff to me, I want to say it back to her the way that she does. And it's not. I'm not like it's not. You're not even trying to be insulting.
Yeah,
You're
it's
just
not like mocking.
I'm,
it's just
like, I'm up to the challenge
empathy.
of like, I want to sound like that because it is cooler.
Yeah, it's different.
It's just a better way to do this language. I don't know about the Russian accent or the I was just talking about
kind of off-putting.
We were watching one of those stupid model shows last night, like reality garbage TV. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's good to put on to just turn your brain off. And Adriana Lima, like the supermodel from back, like when we were in middle school, was like one of the judges on this particular episode. And I remember like thinking she was like one of the hottest girls ever when I was like in high school or whatever. And then I heard her speak. And I was like, ooh, never mind. Like something about her. She's like really like real like Russian, like like she sounds like a bad guy in a Bond. Yeah. And it was I don't know why I wasn't very cultured yet in small town Kentucky. Yeah, but the accent was a big turnoff.
Yeah, whenever like someone speaks and you weren't expecting a different accent,
I was like, you're lovely, but quiet, please, quiet.
Yeah. When Christian Bale, like when people found out he was British a couple years ago, like as if it was,
exactly 2 years ago,
everyone thought he was hiding it, but like no one realized it because he does such a great job doing an American accent in his movies.
Yeah,
and I just felt like betrayed, kind of like, oh man, you're not one of us.
None of the good actors are from America. They're all from Australia or England.
Mel Gibson is an Aussie, isn't he?
No, that's Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe isn't Mel Gibson?
I mean, in a lot of times can be confused, but specifically right now. No, I'm pretty sure Mel Gibson is.
He's at least been to Australia. I feel like he is. Or maybe he's like born there and moved here when he was a kid or something. But I don't think it's right. If he is Australian, in fact, I don't think it's right for him to play the Patriot.
Yeah.
Because Australians are like the opposite of Patriots. They're
well, I mean,
Australians.
I think most of our Marvel universe is played by Captain America is an American, but like Thor isn't.
Yeah. Hemsworth is.
Actually, Robert Downey's from California.
Oh yeah, he is.
I don't know.
Hemsworth an Aussie?
Hemsworth is.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's so weird and betraying whenever like they like, why are you talking so good in American? You know?
Yeah, I think that's so. I think that's very impressive because when we try to talk like Brits, we sound so.
I sound so dumb.
Tea and crumpets. Please, like we sound
have a shag with the Queen Mum.
We sound ridiculous, but when they try to sound like us, I'm like it blows my mind because we don't think of the way that we talk as having an accent.
Right.
So when
but
someone,
to them, it totally
when someone that doesn't sound like us can sound like us better than we can sound like us, I'm like, wow, you should be acting. You should be winning the awards, not me.
That's why you're in movies.
And I'm not. Everett, you ever been fired from a job?
Yeah, I have a pretty good story about that. I should have been fired from a lot of jobs that I didn't. Like, my second job was, you ever heard of a seafood place called Captain D's?
I have.
It's like Long John Silver's, but like kind of somehow skankier.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some people that think that Captain D's is like upper echelon Long
Is
John
it?
Silver's.
This one wasn't.
They're right here, and
This one was nasty and disgusting.
So my wife had never seen one before, so I took her back to my hometown. She was like, "What is a Captain D's?" Or actually, I don't think she even knew what Long John Silver's is either. And I was like, "Okay,
That's fish.
yeah, what's like Fazoli's is to Italian food what Captain D's is to seafood." So it's like, just think of the worst possible scenario when eating fish, and that's this place.
Yeah, I worked in the kitchen in that one, and one time I had a whole plate of fish. You have to batter them and stuff. It's like fresh.
Yeah.
But we had a whole plate of fish that was done like thawing on a big just like pan, and I was taking it to the back before I battered them, and I slipped, and the whole thing fell, and I probably should have thrown them away. But I battered them and fried them because I was a 16-year-old asshole. Me and my friend, actually, my best friend in high school, we worked there together, which was a total mistake. Like he did the front, the counter, and I did the fucking up the fish in the back. And we just get high before, obviously. And we were like just 16, so when we got high, we got the munchies really bad, you know. And they had these little prepackaged individual desserts, like pecan pie, little brownies and stuff.
Oh, I remember.
Oh, dude, we went back there in the walk-in where there's no cameras or anything. We just ate the shit. We ate like 5 each a day, I'm sure. And I just remember the managers talking like, "Do we not get a box of the desserts? Like, what's wrong with our inventory?" And we were just like, "Oh, I have no idea." And we did that for a long time.
I think they gotta account for that. Like, they gotta just know that, like, hey, no one wants to work in fast foods. You're probably going to get a bunch of high teenagers coming in here, and some of it's going to, like, what are we going to do, fire them and get more high teenagers? They're going to do the
Just
same
different
thing. So
ones?
just
Yeah.
know that, like, yeah, you're going to lose some brownies every once in a while.
Just order twice the dessert you sell.
And,
like, come on.
and you're still going to make a profit on those brownies, Captain D's, if you're out there. Are they, I think the one in my hometown closed down. Are they still going strong?
Dude, the one I worked at closed down. They're not doing
I know
too well.
Long John Silver's is still very much a thing.
I saw a commercial for it the other day.
And,
it's weird though. It's like in LA we don't have like corporate like shit like that, so it's hard to know who's still around.
There is one in the deep valley, and
where you gotta go.
I was at work one day. This is like 8 years ago, and I just it just came over me. I was like, I need a hush puppy. I need that crappy fried fish. I was like, let me just Google real quick, see if there's a Long John Silver's out there. And it was a combination Long John Silver's KFC.
Oh, dope.
And it was in like deep Van Nuys, and I was like, I had a long day. My boss was being a real piece of shit, and I was like, I deserve this. Most people go to the bar and drink. I did that too, but I also afterwards drove all the way to deep Van Nuys to get myself like a bunch of hush puppies and fish. And I had fun. It was like, plays on your nostalgia a little bit, and like, it's awful for you. And I probably diarrheaed it out immediately, but I needed that high.
Oh yeah, it's like it doesn't taste like seafood, but it has that flavor. You know,
it's seafood adjacent for sure, but
yeah,
it is
similar to seafood.
It is what it is. It's you know when you're eating Taco Bell that's not top quality Mexican food. You know when you eat,
but you want Taco Bell every once in a while.
You know what you're signing up for, and and you're drunk. No one eats Taco Bell sober, and if you do,
I did it once and it wasn't that great. I had to. Half of it had to drink a bottle of vodka, and so I could get the rest down and enjoy it.
It's like there's if you were a cop in Los Angeles, it's not as good of a public transportation city as it needs to be. It's helped out a little bit with the Uber and Lyft, but any Taco Bell that has a drive-through window, if you're a cop and you want like
just post up
right at 2 a.m. right next to the Taco Bell drive-through. Anybody who's going through that line at 2 a.m. is drunk as shit, and they need a cheesy gordita crunch. And
traditional Mexican fare.
And that would be the worst way to show up to prison, I think, is with a belly full of Taco Bell.
Yeah, and you have to shit in the toilet in front of everyone.
Yeah, we're all looking at it.
And it's going to be diarrhea for sure.
I assume I've never I've been described that experience to me before, and when you get taken in, or you get tossed in this drunk tank, and it really is like a bunch of people sitting in a room with like, not a bucket, but one of those toilets with no barricades. And
it's just kind of in the middle. It's like a communal thing.
And if you were hammered and you just ate $14 worth of Taco Bell, which is a lot of Taco Bell. Like $14 is like a month's worth of food from that place.
Goes far.
And you have to do that shit in front of a bunch of strangers.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
It'd be embarrassing, dude. I've been digging Del Taco a lot.
Dude, Del
Taco's great.
If my wife were here right now, she would high five you. She is a huge like Del Taco over
my fiance,
Taco
yeah.
Bell.
Mm-hmm.
We should double date one night at Del Taco.
Man. There's that one in Silver Lake that has parking.
There's not one close to here. The closest one that I know of is in like Culver City, like right on Venice, and like I don't know, like Robertson-ish. And I used to live over there, so we went to that one all the time. And now I feel like we don't hit Del Taco as much as I'd like to. But I do think it's better.
I had it 2 nights, and plus it's 79-cent tacos. I mean,
I get the little soft shell chicken things.
Those are decent. Yeah.
Yeah. I can eat like 20,
Dude, I
20
pounded
of those.
10 Del Tacos, or not Del Taco, but the discount taco, whatever they call it, the 79 center.
Yeah.
I pounded 10 of them the other night.
Congratulations.
And yeah, usually, thank you. Usually I don't get a bellyache from Del Taco as much as Taco Bell, but I think 10 is the magic number for feeling like shit. But it was still like, it was worth it, you know?
Yeah.
Taco Bell, like, you'll enjoy it, and then the bellyache afterwards is not like, it's like I shouldn't have eaten that. But Del Taco is like, yeah, I ate 10 tacos and I'm okay with the bellyache now because they're that good.
You're a bartender, so your stomach is made of a different kind of lining than the average human. Like you're resilient to the garbage food. How many? Are you allowed to drink while you work at this place?
I'm not allowed to.
That sucks. So I get That's why you.
I'm not allowed to.
Well, I mean, some places.
I'm not saying I do.
Really corporate-y places, like if you're like back to Chili's, if you're like a bartender at Chili's or whatever, that's all. Thank you. It's all measured pours.
Yeah.
And so they definitely inventory their stuff like a lot.
Yeah.
A lot more.
You can also always bring in your own.
But I have a buddy who's a bartender, and I'm not even kidding. He drinks during his shift. He drinks like a bottle of Jameson a night, and it doesn't even like affect him anymore.
Dude, that's the best job for if you want to drink on the job because it's abundant and it's easy to do, and you just talk to people and you get more friendly. So I mean,
yeah,
it's pretty easy.
I used to think that I wanted to be a bartender, and sometimes I still think about it. And I was like, because I think that's something I should have done much earlier on in life. Mm-hmm. And but like, and again, we were talking about this with comedy, but with in LA, I feel like the bartending scene is also like really competitive. If I went down to the street and tried to get a job at there's like a nice bar at the end of my street, and I was like, hey, can I just I'm like, I live 14 steps from here. Is it cool if I like pick up a couple shifts this week? I just want to do it just for fun. They'd be like, well, do you have any bartending experience at all? I'm like, no, but I drink like it's enough to like.
Pretty easy to.
I've made I know how to do this. I've been making myself drinks for a while. Wow. Like how hard can this be?
So
same with serving.
You're a bartender that works from home.
Yes, I have one customer, and he's an asshole. But he tips pretty well.
Yeah,
it's I don't know. And then same with serving. Like a lot of times, like most servers in Los Angeles are actors.
Right. Dude, to get a restaurant job in LA, you have to literally have a headshot on your resume.
Yeah.
Like I'm not even joking.
But
when someone told me that at first a few years ago when I moved here, I thought they were joking. Because that seems like a joke.
And like, how many people are in line in front of you? And like, let's say you are an actor, but also you're like a really good server. Because I'm not. I've never done that before. Like, I wouldn't be able to get that gig, and that's hilarious because like I don't want to say overqualified, but like I have a degree and stuff, and they're like, hell, but you've never been a server before.
They'll laugh you out of the.
They'll laugh you out of the room. Yeah. I'm like, you don't think I can figure it out? You don't think I can figure out how to go to a table, ask people what they want, and bring it back to them? Like, what are you talking about? Yeah. And I know that you do get better with time, but it's like the only way you can get good at that job is by doing that job. So,
exactly. Yeah.
That's every job.
And that's how I became a bartender. I didn't like we said, didn't go to school for it. I just I was a server at a restaurant, and eventually you just learn and you're there.
Yeah, and maybe sometimes like it's like you start doing stand up in a shitty city and then move to LA and you're better. Maybe you start bartending at Outback Steakhouse or whatever, and then you can take that little crappy experience and graduate to like Chateau Marmont where celebrities go. And
the ones like that are just like you got to know somebody in there and they'll get you in. But
all of the servers there are typically like pretty beautiful human beings who
the headshot thing, they want to know what they need it. They aren't going to interview unless you're beautiful. It's crazy.
And
my last job actually that I got fired from, I'm going to tell that story if that's cool.
Yeah, I'd love for you
to. This was, I'm going to put this place on blast just because I can.
You can.
So it's the Griddle Cafe. Have you been there?
Yeah, I can walk there from my house.
Oh, yeah. It's West Hollywood, yeah. A lot of celebrities go there.
Huge line every Saturday and Sunday for breakfast.
That was really good money.
Like
when I was waiting tables there.
comically huge. And you know they have pancakes that are like this big. They take.
Who needs that? No one needs that much pancake.
It's so much waste of pancake.
We would throw away pancakes on pancakes.
You only need one if it's that big. Like most people have pancakes that are this big and there's a stack of them, but this is just like the size of the entire
They
plate.
give you like 3, and it's like that's the whole thing. The food's not even good. It's just they're big.
I'm not gonna say that place is horrible. I will say it's breakfast food and it's not worth waiting in line for 2 hours to eat it. You know, it was I did it a couple times when I first moved here, and then when I first moved into this place because I could walk there, and then I'll probably never go back there because I can get breakfast.
It's unremarkable, yeah.
I can get breakfast anywhere else in this city, 1,000 other places without a line.
Right,
so
exactly. So
let's put these motherfuckers on blast in their line.
Do it. I did meet a lot of celebs there. David Wayne, I'm a huge fan of. Met him. I met Bill Paxton like right before he died. Very nice dude. R.I.P. to him. Lance Bass, the dude that says Bazinga on the Nerd Show. I can't remember his name.
His name in real life is Sheldon on the show, and his name is Jim Parsons.
Jim Parsons, very nice dude. Like I'm not a fan of his show, but he is extremely nice and tips very well.
He makes $1 million an episode, so he better.
That's insane.
He better.
Yeah.
I mean, that show's off the air now, but still.
He's probably still getting residuals because people are still watching it. Dude, I watched a guy watch that on an airplane one time. No headphones, no subtitles. He was just watching it he couldn't hear what was going on. It was just nothing, and he was just watching it. Like, dude, you're a psycho.
Watching someone watch that show is probably funnier than watching the show, especially if they're like having a good time. You're like, how? Dude. Where do you live where this is your apogee for what humor is?
Right.
Like,
and okay, so my brother took out the laugh tracks one time, and we watched it.
That's a clip on YouTube. It's really popular. I think Funny or Die did it first. It was like Big Bang Theory with no laugh track.
Okay, yeah, we made some too, but it's insane to see what the jokes are because there's not really jokes.
Yeah,
it's just like
the jokes are that they've timed in spaces.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and they look like crazy people, just like it's like looking at you. Like,
and it's not. The audience will get like one good laugh, for people who don't know, they'll record the audience's laughter, and then they'll use that one like a lot of times. It's not authentic, like real laughing every single time. They've got a whole sampling in a hard drive somewhere of what a good audience laugh sounds like, and they'll insert.
What do you think the file names are? Like long laugh, like. Women only. What do they?
One guy from Mississippi in the front row having way too much fun.
Because they have they're in a folder somewhere, and they have names. They have to differentiate. I wonder what they are called.
I don't know.
How are we gonna find that out? Like we gotta find a sound editor guy for something.
For who works for single camera comedies,
right?
Or no, that's multicam. It's multicam. Sorry, I didn't mean to mess that up. So we're back at the griddle. What are you, server?
I was a server. Yeah.
Okay.
So. A lot of celebrities, including racist, disgraced former Clippers owner Donald Sterling.
Okay.
Also a slumlord, just all around terrible human being. So he comes in, and I didn't realize it was him because he was kind of becoming irrelevant at that point. But
when was that? Like 2015, 2016?
It was like like a year after. It wasn't too far removed from the whole ousting of Steve Ballmer of him, but it was still like you could still read articles being popping up every once in a while. But anyways, but he was like not in the forefront of my mind, so I didn't really recognize him. He just looked like an old white guy that sucked, and
they all look the same,
right? And so he comes in and he doesn't sit down at the table. I'm just trying to greet them like, "Hey, do you want some eggs or whatever?" And he was asking me questions about the menu, but he touched me really weird, like he kind of grabbed me around the waist, kind of like didn't like grab my ass. It was like really weird fondling that he did to me. Like I guess he was trying to be very friendly because I'm white. I guess I don't know. I don't know if you've done that to a black server, but so that was really weird. And I was like,
no, he would have got up and sat in a different section,
right? Ugh. So he the other meal, whatever, it's fine. He goes to pay, he gives me his card, and I realize, oh, that's a Donald Sterling. That's why I recognize this guy. And so I run his card. I bring his receipt back, and it's Martin Luther King Jr. weekend right then. So I say Happy MLK Day on his ticket to a former
a known racist.
Known racist, yeah.
Known racist.
He's not even trying to deny it. So I did that, and I thought it was funny as hell, you know. So I obviously I put it on my social media. I blocked out his credit card number and everything but his name, you know. And I didn't think anything of it. And then like a week later, I got called into like the office by the manager, and there's this guy with a suit and a folder. And
You didn't know who he was?
No. And he just shows me some printed out of my own Facebook posts and tweets. It's like, wow, no one's ever printed out my posts anymore, or like ever. Like no one ever does that. Not even my mom. You know? So like, and it's like, did you do this? And like, clearly I did this. You have physical like copy of it. And so it turns out this psycho woman totally hires a private investigator to like stalk all of her employees on social media, which is like totally insane to me.
Someone who owns the griddle?
Yeah.
It's not a chain, is it? There's only one?
No, it's only one.
And so the owner is a woman.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to say her name, but I
don't remember her name.
She has someone consistently looking at all of her employees.
That's what I gathered from that.
And
so like,
I was going to say, well, I mean, that seemed like a thing that like could have made its way back to her. Like over what period of time? Like how recent?
It was like in between Martin Luther King Jr. weekend and that time. It was probably only like a week and a half.
Okay.
So it was like I'd kind of forgotten
on the
about
receipt.
it.
Did it show the Griddle Cafe?
It did say Griddle Cafe.
Okay, so I could see someone because you have a lot of followers. So I could see someone that follows you just sending that back to her without knowing that she stalks her employees' social medias, socials. That just getting back to her organically.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah,
but this guy presented me with the folder of my own stuff. He had investigated this.
I would love it if someone
like, dude,
called me into like one of those like private investigator rooms with a printed out folder of like all my memes.
Oh my god, yeah.
And be like, are these yours? And be like, I'd be like, yeah. Do you want me to sign them? You want me to?
frankly,
Is
it
you
was
asking for an
flattering.
autograph? Yeah, I can't
like,
believe you're familiar with my work.
But so she fired me right then and there after shaming me with my own posts and stuff. And
did you leave it up? Is it still can that still be found?
I think I deleted it.
I
forgot why, because she was like, "Oh, he comes here all the time, spends a lot of money." It's like, okay, so you want to support racism, and she's like, yes, basically. She did. I didn't say that to her, but basically, she is supporting racism. So, Griddle Cafe, racist cafe.
Okay, that's a good story. I've seen, I mean, because of where we live, I've seen a lot of people get in trouble and get fired for the exact same reason, like tip shaming celebrities.
Yeah,
they're like, oh, Juliette Lewis or whoever just came in, and she only left me $14 on a $120 tab or whatever.
Yeah,
and like getting fired for that because like first of all, don't do that, but like.
But also tip well, you know, like you know what you're doing. You have the money for it.
I think there are a lot of people who make the assumption that celebrities should be good tippers just because of how much money they have, but there's a lot of them that are relatively cheap human beings.
Oh, absolutely.
But is it worth getting called out for so now that social media is what it is? Really stiffen your server on.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and if you like get them fired or whatever, but now everyone knows you're a bad tipper, you know?
You're a bad tipper and you're a piece of shit because you went out for some guy who makes $12 an hour's job, and now he's out of a job, and you are a publicly known shit tipper.
Yep.
It's not worth it. Like, and you like it. And this is like it for anybody. Leave the 20%. But just because you're a celebrity, no one's asking you to leave $100 every time you go out to eat, because that would be ridiculous. Like your $30 poke bowl now has to cost $130 just because you did 2 seasons of Mad Men.
Right.
It's not. That's not how money works, and people should understand that. But still, give like
do the bare minimum at least.
Don't make me be like, wow. Jason Alexander is like a real cheapskate. I've actually heard that he's a really good tipper. George Costanza.
George would not be a good tipper, I'm imagining.
Oh, I've heard quite the opposite.
No, the character George.
The character George would not
George
be.
and Seinfeld, that guy. But Jason Alexander, the man, probably.
Yeah. Great tipper.
Yeah, I'm sure he would.
But I mean, there's countless examples of that, I'm sure. And you have some. You said you had some C-listers that come into your establishment now, and
it's like people,
but they don't get the chance to tip you, so you don't get a tip shame.
I don't get to tip shame, I guess, but I can cheap shame them because they like the liquor and stuff they buy is like the cheapest like bottom line stuff. Like it's not like for a couple bucks more you can get like some good whiskey like High West Rye or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
But they're getting like the ancient age, like bottom of the barrel bullshit bourbon. was a lot of alliteration. Sorry.
Bottom of the barrel bullshit bourbon brownie.
Brown.
I'm from Kentucky, so I'm obviously a big bourbon person. But it's so they're for them to come in and just say order well.
Like you don't have to. It's
not even that much more to get something that doesn't taste like poo poo doo doo.
Penis ass.
What's your go-to bourbon?
I like Rye's a lot. What last one I had was I got a bottle of Knob Creek Rye. It's a really good one. You might get grossed out by what I do with it.
Dip tampons in it and then
boofing. No, so you're familiar with au jus beef broth?
Yeah.
You know? So I'd get a little rye, sip it, and then another sip of the au jus, and it creates a delightful flavor combination. I'd say it's even bold flavors.
I have some friends who do that with like if they're doing like a carne asada or something in a slow cooker, and the beef that's in there, they'll do that as a chaser.
It's great.
Well, that's not even that crazy when you think. There's people who do pickleback shots like all
I like
day long.
Too, yeah.
I like that too. It's something about
the whole realm of the savory alcohol.
Yeah, the saltiness and the acidity of the pickle juice really neutralizes any burn that would come from a whiskey shot or a tequila shot, and they just work together. I don't want them.
Really does, yeah.
I don't want them in the same glass, but I want to go boom,
right.
boom. That's and
exactly.
That's
also the heat of it will heat up the alcohol and get it into your bloodstream quicker.
Oh, the au jus sauce.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So you got
I'm no scientist.
You got a French dip on the menu.
Dude, if you ever go to Kohl's, put this place on blast in a good way. Kohl's downtown, they're always like, I tell them what I want to do, and they're like, okay, and they'll bring me an extra au jus. It's awesome. I love that place.
We should go there sometime.
We really should.
I haven't been. It's just downtown is not.
Oh,
if
no,
you don't
it's so
live
far from here. I know
it doesn't. You can see it from. It's right there, but it's all that's like 6 miles away, and
it's like
just
an hour
but
drive.
it feels like you're going to another planet. And
we should do that on
every time I'm down there. I love it. What's the other one that people love? Philippe's.
Yeah, I haven't been there.
They don't have alcohol, or if they do, they only have beers. They like beer bottles, but they.
That's probably why I haven't.
Kohl's
been there.
is a really cool looking spot, and they have a full bar. And Mickey? What's the guy's name? The gangster back in the day.
Oh yeah,
peed there.
He peed there, and so did was that dirty old man that wrote books, Bukowski. He peed there too.
God, Mickey. I'm gonna be watching
Mouse.
this.
Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse.
Yeah,
peed
the
there.
notorious gangster Mickey Mouse. He's everywhere though. It's Hollywood.
So the server comes and you say, "Give me a shot." Again, a shot glass of the au jus.
No, I just get a side of the au jus.
I think they give it to you anyways, don't they? Or they just
yeah, but I'm gonna be dunking my sandwich in that one. I don't want any like beef like flopping around in there. This is like a strictly liquid thing.
This is I need the like filtered broth for I'm shooting this one.
Dude, on Tuesdays they have happy hour all day. We should totally hit that up sometime.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we should.
Why is every bar in LA pick Tuesday as their all day happy hour spot so that I have to choose which bar? I think every place should have a different day where it's all day happy hour. There's a spot at the end of my street which I don't want to put on blast because I don't want it to blow up. I like it. They don't have a lot of seating, so like I want I go there I need my
chair.
I need my chair. But they have happy hour every day until 7:00. But on Tuesdays it goes all through the night, and so
I don't know why they're all trying to fight with each other on Tuesdays. Like they should split it up. I like to go to bars on different days.
Do you take the train down there ever?
Dude, I used to whenever I worked downtown at this place. I think closed down now, but a place called Julia. Did you ever see it? It's like fake Italian food, really stupid. Dude,
so stupid. The Italian food.
Italians, nah. But I lived in Koreatown, and I lived right by the train on like Vermont, and so I totally just like it'd take 5 minutes to go downtown. That was like my work, so I'd hang out there a bunch. And there's cool stuff downtown. It's got that smell, like kind of like trash, kind of like just piss.
Well, it's New York too. It's like big,
but it's like it's I don't know. It's a good smell though. It's not like bad piss and bad trash. It's like it's comforting.
I love our downtown. Every single time I'm down there, I'm like, I wish I came down here more. And then 7 months goes by and I didn't go down there, and then I go back again. It's like the opposite experience of like going to Las Vegas. Every time I'm there, I'm like, why the fuck did I come here?
I've never been to Vegas.
Wow.
Yeah. About 32 and still have not been.
Any reason?
No, I just haven't. I need to. We should go to Kohl's and then go to Vegas.
God, you're. You maybe not, but like I feel like you might have missed your window of thinking Vegas is cool.
Oh yeah,
because I went there for like bachelor parties when I was like 25 and 27 and stuff, and I was like, this is awesome. And every night it's just like a sprint to see how blacked out you can get. And
right. And then the bars don't close, right?
No, and you can like if you're
drink
if you're drinking
hours.
at a bar and your buddies are like, no, let's go to another bar. You walk out the door holding that drink, and you can take. They'll.
Oh wow! So
if it's in a glass, if it's in like a glass, they'll pour it. There's like a guy at the door, and he'll pour that into like a solo cup, and then you can leave with your drink in a solo cup and go to the next bar.
It's amazing.
It's insane, and
it's like a hedonism party. Like
you think it's really cool the first like 7 or 8 times that you get there, but then like that drive home or that flight home from on like that Monday morning after you've just spent the whole weekend destroying your body in the absolute worst. It is you come home and you're like, I'm never going to Vegas ever again. And then like 2 years goes by and somebody's like, should we do Vegas? And you're like, yes, and because you've forgotten. And that's exactly how I do the opposite with downtown Los Angeles. Every time I'm there I want to go, I don't, and I should go back like it's far. I can be there in 12 minutes on the train.
Yeah, but the drive would be 30.
The drive sucks because the parking sucks once you get down there.
Yeah.
And so the train is the way to go.
For sure.
If you are listening to this and are like, how do you get to downtown Los Angeles from Los Angeles? I bet a lot of people listening want to know that. It's the train is the answer.
Red line, baby.
So, it was a couple years ago, but my follow-up question was when you got fired for that Donald Sterling thing. Did you feel like that was worth it? There's a lot of times that like you have shitty boss. Like I've had so many shit bosses in my career, and there's they say dumb stuff, and you want to react every single time. But I was given some advice one time that was like, if you could go to war one time in a calendar year with your boss over something, would this be that thing? I felt like for you, that might have been like the one time you needed to.
That was the hill I died on. Yeah.
But it was justified.
Yeah. I mean, like I called him a racist, but I mean, where's the lie, you know?
Yeah. It's been proven. If Jim Parsons from Big Bang Theory like give you a little slap on the ass.
So he violated me too.
You wouldn't. I think you'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna let him have that one.
Yeah,
he's a nice guy, but known racist. That's a little
racists
different.
are not allowed to assault me.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
He did a little waist grab too.
Well, something weird. I didn't really care because I wanted his money. You know, at the time.
Was he a good tipper? Did you?
He actually was.
You didn't get to tip shame him, but you did get to racist shame him.
Racist shame, yeah. Only like he tipped a solid 20%. You know, he was. But the thing is, I didn't recognize who he was until I got his credit card, you know?
Yeah.
Or I probably would have fucked with him more.
I used to work in a clothing retail store when I first moved out here, and you think that celebrities look like what they look like on TV in person, and oftentimes they don't. Sometimes they do, but oftentimes it's like I saw a tweet the other day that was like Adam Driver looks like someone tried to draw Keanu Reeves from memory. You saw that one. You see these celebrities in real life, and they look like someone. They're look enough like them to where someone who was like a really good sketch artist like drew them from memory and got pretty close. Right. But without the makeup and without the lights and without like the color correction and the editing,
they look like impersonators of themselves.
Exactly. They look like wax figurines of themselves. So you're never sure. And then I would always do the same thing when they would go to pay. I would act like the little credit card swipe machine terminal was like, I was like, oh, that one sometimes doesn't work. Let me just see. And I would get their credit card and I'd be like, oh, Kristen Chenoweth, it is you. I would see the name on the card and be like, it is who I thought it was. And that was pretty neat. But I get how you wouldn't. I mean, if you lined up 10 dudes in a row right now that looked like Donald Sterling and you were like, pick him out of that group, I don't know if I'd be able to do it.
Yeah. I mean, I probably would because I had a.
Well, you lost your job over him. And
yeah, so I study his face now.
It's like a big a poster on your wall with just like a bunch of red X's and darts like thrown at it. Like, we'll meet again, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. I hope not. I don't want to see that guy.
I mean, he's old. I mean, he might
die soon.
He might not be here for a while. But
we'll go to racist heaven.
Did he? I mean, you probably know everything about him. But he lost his job, right? He's not the Clippers owner anymore.
He was like a forced buyout type thing. The Steve Ballmer now owns the Clippers. He was a Microsoft guy with Bill Gates. Like he's in that video where Bill whenever Windows 95 is launched, you know that
all
meme
those
video?
Dudes are dancing.
Dude, they're dancing. It's so funny. I can watch that any day. It's like what song is it? It's like what song is it that they? You're singing to.
I don't know. I'll have it. I'll put it like right here when we're talking about it.
Yeah, I can watch that anytime. But he's in that video. He's one of those guys.
That's good.
And so I don't know. So at least we saw those guys move on to bigger and better things.
Okay. Well, I think you did the right move, Everett.
I think so.
I think that.
I just wish I could have done more.
Because you can go get another serving job at a breakfast establishment. They're not even open for lunch or dinner, are they?
Yeah, they close at like 2 p.m. or something.
Yeah, there's lines around the block to get in this place, and there's a coffee bean with like a really nice. I think it's closing or it has already, but there's a really nice coffee bean right across the street, and I would go there to get coffee sometime and just sit outside and look at that line and be like, who the fuck wants to wait 75 minutes to eat scrambled eggs?
Right? Yeah.
Like
it's fine. The food's fine.
Food is fine.
There's nothing remarkable about it.
God,
it's crazy. I wouldn't even make a remark about it. I don't remember what they have. It's just eggs.
Well, it's breakfast, and I think it's hard.
Most important meal of the day, and you can make it at home.
And not even for some people. I'm doing intermittent fasting right now, and you're supposed to skip breakfast according to some scientists. Like, it's not even the most important meal of the day. It's actually not it's not what you eat for breakfast. It's when you eat breakfast. Like, I can still have all eggs and bacon and shit, but I'm having it at like 1 and not
that's not
having it at 7 a.m. just because
don't tell me what to eat at what time. Like, come on, not my mom.
Dude, when I was growing up, breakfast for dinner was my favorite like surprise family
it's quick and easy.
We had dinner it was like a rule in my house. We had we sat down as a family at the table every single night and had dinner. And I think like on nights that my mom was like, oh fuck, I forgot to stop and get something. We'll like open the fridge and like look to see what she had. I can't confirm or deny this, but I think she looked in and was like, oh, I still got the stuff from breakfast from yesterday. And she like made breakfast, and I would as a kid be over the moon. I loved breakfast for dinner. And so if she only knew that she could get away with like, half-assing it grocery shopping style twice a week, I'd love that. Well, biscuits and gravy.
Biscuits and gravy were great, dude.
Arkansas, we
went to every morning. Like in junior high, my dad would take me to work, and we'd stop by It's Carl's Jr., but they call it Hardee's there.
Dude, I'm from the Hardee's part of the country.
Hardee's part.
I came out here and I'm like, why are they calling Hardee's something different? Because it's the same logo, same menu, same everything about it, but they just changed the name.
I think it's kind of like the west of the Mississippi. It's like the K's, and then it's W on the radio station.
Oh yeah, I've never noticed that.
Yeah, it is. It's same rule. It's a Carl's Jr. rule applied there.
Yeah.
But but you get biscuits and gravy every day. And that was my favorite thing. It can't be good for you, but it's sausage gravy and biscuits.
No way, it's good for you.
So good though.
Because the first step to making it is like using all the fat from the bacon grease.
Yeah.
As like the base layer to
and then there's just flour and milk in there.
Yeah, it's got to be crud for you, but it tastes
it's amazing,
so good.
I want some now.
You're out of luck because no one in Los Angeles does biscuits and gravy worth a fucking. If I ever see it on the menu, I do try to order it to see if they're going to be the first place to step up.
I feel like I had it not that long ago, but it wasn't as good as that Hardee's one that I had when I was a kid. Do
you know the restaurants K24, Kitchen 24? There's two of them. There's one.
I've heard of it. I've never been there.
It's like it's a cooler, like a Denny's, that's not even the right thing to say. It's a diner type experience, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but it's open 24 hours a day. They have alcohol. It's a much cooler vibe, and they were taking a stab at biscuits and gravy for a little bit. And I remember thinking like, this'll do, but it's not.
Did they quit their attempt?
I just haven't been in a while.
Oh, okay. You said they were trying for a while. I thought like they did an experiment. And they're like, nope, no more biscuits and gravy.
If you're ever like drunk on this part of town or like the Sunset Strip or whatever, you can walk over there in West Hollywood anywhere. It's on Santa Monica and it's open 24 hours. So like it's a pretty big spot and a lot of people go there after the bar.
Nice.
And that is when you want biscuits and gravy. You need to soak up that booze.
Right. Mix it with the milk and flour and feel great in your belly.
Yeah, in that and sweet tea were like two things that when I moved out here I couldn't find anyone. And then it's probably for the best. It's
not hard to mix sugar with tea, but
you got to do it when it's hot. A lot of people are just like they'll be like, oh, here's the iced tea and then here's the sugar packet. I'm like, that's just gonna sink straight to the bottom.
The granules. Get all gritty in your teeth.
Yeah, it's like I'm drinking the ocean.
I love tea, but it's got to be unsweet for me. I don't know. I don't like the There's sugar in it.
Well,
for
I've
some
grown
reason.
out. It's anything when you're a kid that's like sweeter than other stuff. You're like, oh, this one's better.
Right,
but
yeah.
it's coffee. I don't put sugar in my coffee anymore, like ever. But when you're a kid, creamer and sugar like makes coffee taste like it's like
ice cream.
Yeah, yeah. It's a
Yeah.
liquid ice cream, mocha flavored deliciousness. I just and it's for the best that I'm not able to find those things as readily as I was back in Kentucky, because I would probably be twice my weight right now.
Yeah.
15 years of just eating biscuits and gravy in my adult life, and then
Sounds
add
like 15 years of fun.
drinking on top
Yeah.
of that, and it wasn't the move.
Did you ever drink that sweet tea flavored vodka they were pushing really hard for a while in like the 2012-ish?
Yes. I drink most of it. It doesn't. I think I'm pretty sure it still exists, but
Probably. Yeah, it was like a craze.
Well,
for a while.
you mix it with lemonade, and it's just like it's Arnold Palmer, but it's actually called a John Daly, the alcohol, because he's an alcoholic.
Dude, I used to live by him actually. And it was a town over in Dardanelle, Arkansas.
Okay.
And my girlfriend at the time, parents lived there in this like private neighborhood thing. Like there was a sign that said John Daly lives here, which is pretty stupid. But we'd always like throw our empty Mickey's 40s at the sign and break them. Because whatever. Fuck that guy.
And he would think that was like a out of respect, like a term of endearment.
It wasn't really a mean thing either, but
Yeah.
it wasn't. It was just whatever. You have a sign. Fuck you.
No, we used to drink that a lot, and it's dangerous because it doesn't taste like there's alcohol in it, so you can just gulp it down. I had a baby shower this weekend. And I would made those big pitcher, like those like dispenser things, like, you know what I'm talking about, where you can like, so you make like batch alcohol drinks so people can just drink all day. And one of them, a buddy of mine told me to make was Jack Daniel's honey with lemonade, and it's just those two ingredients,
good,
like
yeah.
1-to-1. And I threw some lemon garnishes in there to make it look all pretty and Pinteresty. Perfect. And people were shithoused, dude. It's such
if you're doing 1-to-1, that's like
such a dangerous drink because it tastes so good. It doesn't taste like it has any alcohol in it at all, but half of it is whiskey.
Yeah, but you'll be chugging it like actual lemonade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was it's one of those ones where you get home and you just like, it's all sitting right here, and you're like, I had a good day, but I would feel 300% better if I could just throw all this up right now, and then you do, and then you're a changed man.
Yeah, man.
Anything else we need to discuss before you?
Oh yeah, I actually just went on. So my fiance has like a real job.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. I'll tell her that you said congratulations for her having a real job. No,
no, and for saying yes to you, because she shouldn't have, but she did.
What an idiot! I tricked her so hard. So she like organized this conference at this pretty nice hotel in Long Beach, and so it was for like all of her clients and stuff. Like I still don't know what she does. Like she said, it's a real job.
Yeah,
like a career, and I work in restaurants and bars and stuff, so I know nothing about that. So like I've never even been in an office, and frankly I'm not sure if I'm allowed inside of an office.
You're not. I checked.
I don't have a lanyard. Is that how you get in offices, having a lanyard? Okay. So so I piggybacked on this. She was staying in a hotel because she was working all day, and I just went to the hotel. I was just chilling. I was like on a mini vacay, and so just drinking all day in her hotel room while she was working, and but it was really weird because I felt like kind of like a prisoner, but I could leave at any point. I had a car. I could leave Long Beach if I wanted to, and we had an ocean view. I kept the window shut anyway though. Because whatever, I was just hanging out in a hotel room. I was like just not being at home doing the same shit, and I just got some writing done and stuff. It was pretty good, but it was so weird. Like I wanted to get the breakfast because they had like catered breakfast, like all the shaping dishes and stuff in their room.
Yeah,
and not the room in their conference room, whatever, in the hotel. And I was like, I got really stoned in the morning because it was morning, of course. And
when most people get stoned.
Yeah, and again, breakfast is I wanted that breakfast. She was like, yeah, there's sausage and eggs. I'm like, I'm there. And so I put on her company logo shirt and lanyard, just the necklace part, not even the credentials like that you dangle from it.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is gonna be a great disguise. I'm gonna go in there. And so I start walking in there, and I could just it's not that big of a company. Like they're gonna know I'm not one of them. I saw this guy. I just watched him see me and like watched him watch me, and I was like, no. And I was so stoned. I was like I can't get caught.
Yeah, especially if you're stoned. Like that's when your like paranoia is like peak level.
Yes. Right. So I ducked out and I went to this like a bathroom in the hotel, like in the handicap stall, just so I was like, no, this is bad. I just like sequestered myself in there, and I changed, or I just took the sweatshirt off and stuff, like my disguise, and I was like, what do I do? I just like sat in there and contemplated for like probably a good 20 minutes, and like my whole thing could have been like fucked up if like a handicapped guy had to pee, you know?
Yeah.
So they didn't apparently, and but then I couldn't walk out of there either because I had what would probably appear to be a really shitty disguise that I bailed on, and which is exactly what it was. So I eventually I was like, well, whatever. I'm just gonna march up those stairs and go into that conference room, and then I saw more people, and they were like guards at a door. They were just like blonde ladies
Guarding the sausage.
Right. They weren't actually, in my mind, that's what they were doing.
Yeah.
But I ended up going in right when the house workers, whatever, at the hotel were like starting to clean it up. And I was like, oh, hey, is it too late for me to get a plate? And I could tell I was dressed like kind of like a homeless guy, like not nowadays like on the street homeless guy, but like a romanticized, like classic, like tattered rags and stuff, basically just shitty clothes, like wearing like a bunch of brown colors. That's what I was wearing, and I just saw this woman's face, like her heart melt. She's like, "Oh, sure," like taking compassion on me, like, "Sure, you can have some." I'm like, my fiance's putting on this class. She's paying for all this, okay? Like, I'm good, but like, I just didn't want like to get caught.
Yeah, I think if it were me, I would have just had my wife like make me a plate and like meet me in the hall if she was able to.
She was like busy, and it wasn't like illegal for me to be on like. It was okay, but we just didn't want to get caught.
And that's, by the way, that's what I do as well. My wife has a really, she's like super professional and has like important corporate jobs. She's at work right now, and I'm home podcasting in our living room. But she goes on those big like conferences, and then she goes and I just go with her. I'm like, I can do what I do from anywhere, so I might as well be in your hotel room in Chicago or in DC or New York or wherever we're going this weekend, and I just write from wherever.
Yeah, dude.
And then I go sit by the pool and drink and wait for her to get off work.
That was the shitty part about it. It was like this nice like hotel, but their pool was down for renovation just that week.
Yeah, so because I mean they pay for, they're already paying for her to have a hotel room, so you
I'm just piggybacking.
Yeah, and all you got to do, well, if it's out of state, it's just you buy, and they pay for her flight. So all I got to do is buy a flight, and then I'm having the same trip that she's having, minus having to go to the bullshit.
Yeah, just
it's like
built-in vacation.
It's a $200 plane ticket vacation for me, and you know, and I enjoy it. So I'm really thankful that our respective women have nice jobs that we can.
They take care of us.
They take care of us.
Get sausages. So I when I got the plate though, I loaded up. I got like 8 sausage, like full sausage links, and eggs, like what have you. And so I'm like, all right, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I gotta go back to the room because there's still people around there. And I could see this is like a big Christian organization. I could hear them singing praise and worship songs from the next room over, and it was just kind of like eerie because it reminded me of my past. I grew up in churches and
stuff. So did I. That's gonna be my next question because you're from the South.
The song was tell me if you know this one. You are the air I breathe. Yeah, that's the one they were singing. Anyway, so I got the fuck out of there. Got back to the room, realized I didn't pick up any utensils. And there was nothing. These assholes took away my dirty utensils that I used for the room service before. I put it outside my door. I might have wanted those again, Yeah. What an idiot.
This is the for later pile.
Right, yeah. Do I have to label it for you? I spell it out? Come on. So I looked around. I was like, I can eat sausages with my fingers. That's fine. But
scrambled eggs.
Eggs, not so much. Like,
and they're poached. No, poached, you could just throw that in there. It'd
be delicate.
It wouldn't be easy, but if you did like a sunny side up, boy, that'd be hard to do. I mean, who cares?
Fold up like a taco, maybe. I don't know. But turns out I didn't have to do that because I fashioned some chopsticks out of 2 coffee stirrers, and honestly, eating sausages with chopsticks is kind of a delightful experience.
Wow, I think
I did it out of necessity, but in a pinch, like it works,
Anything they say, like I mean, anything can be chopsticks if you try hard enough and you really believe in yourself. You could have used, anything in the hotel room. You could have fashioned like a spoon out of like one of those like maps of the city or whatever, like hotel directories.
Right. Like some Cutthroat Kitchen shit.
There's like one of those, those little life hack things on the internet, and there was one that like when you
just click on BuzzFeed.com.
Yeah, peel back the lid, that like aluminum lid on a yogurt, and then you can turn the lid into a little spoon and eat yogurt with that spoon. It's like, why even waste a a spork on that or whatever if you don't have one. But that's
But if you have a spoon, then it's better.
If you're listening at home and want to know how to eat scrambled eggs in your hotel room and you don't have silverware, coffee stir chopsticks.
Yeah.
Everett, tell the people at home where they can find you online, any shows you got coming up, anything you want to promote.
I am on all platforms at rad_milk. I'm actually creating a cartoon with Thinko Animation Studio out of New York right now called Rad Milk, and it is about Brad, who's like Brad Milk, like Rad Milk, you know?
Yep.
That's his name. It's based off the picture of my profile picture on Twitter, and his pet octopus Glandon. And they live in a man cave, which is a cave deep inside a very large man who's just kind of like floating in space.
Okay.
His name is Jerry. So they live in Jerry.
And where's that is that like a YouTube thing?
We're going to release, I think, some animatics pretty soon. I just got to talk to my company and stuff. But look for that. That'll be out pretty soon.
Pumped to see that.
Yeah.
Oh, you've already started. Like you're already.
It's in production.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna have stuff that we'll be able to show people pretty soon.
Great. That sounds awesome.
So be on the lookout for that.
All right, Everett. Thanks so much for joining me. It was a blast.
Yeah,
Always
thank
good
you
to
so
see
much for having me.